Hello, world. My name is Z, or you can call me Mr. Z. I am a web developer, and I am also a consultant at Z World Webs. My one goal is to develop custom websites that are specifically catered to your organization's needs. I completely understand that building a website is an exhilarating, exciting, and significant step in connecting with your audience. Your organization has Z potential to make a meaningful impact, whether it's supporting animal rights, advocating for equality, combating human trafficking, or honoring the brave individuals who have served our country. Your mission is too important to be held back by the challenges a website can present. And I am here to ensure that your website works for you, not against you. Whether it's maintaining, developing, or redeveloping a custom website that is specifically catered to your needs. And with that being said, I would be more than delighted to learn more about your organization and, of course, develop a website Z World is waiting for.
Imagine every time you make a purchase, you could also make a huge difference. Sounds impossible, right? Not anymore. We created the Community Pay It Forward app to turn everyday spending into real support for families, nonprofits, and community missions. Instead of your money just going out, part of it goes forward, helping someone in need. And with the Community Pay It Forward app, the Come Together movement, and just a simple tap, you'll find trusted partners, discover causes that matter to you, and know every choice you make created a better tomorrow. It's simple, it's powerful, and it's all in one place. So please, download the Community Pay It Forward app today. Because if you're not helping someone, you're hurting everyone. And a Community Pay It Forward, no one needs to go it alone when we all come together.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everywhere, wherever you may be. This is Alan Holmes with Master Connectors Corner, and welcome to another edition. Thank you for Community Pay It Forward and all the amazing individuals help me do what I do. It's not about me; it's about we. And with that said, I would like to welcome you, Mark. Um, is Mark Dr. Mark Miller. He is a dedicated and helping health conscious individuals to ensure that they have clean, healthy water in all situations for drinking water, cooking, and cleaning, and during emergencies. Now, he is a founder of Safer Cleaner Water, and his mission to help raise awareness and importance of this such cause. So, Mr. Dr. Mark Miller, we appreciate you, whether it's cleaning in our homes, giving the most vital water necessary resource. Wow, that's a very powerful mission, and I thank you for that. First and foremost, can you share a little bit about your background?
Yes, Alan, thank you for having us today. We really enjoy the time that we're going to share with you because we do have a lot to share and a lot of fun. Looking forward to it. So yes, I have just going briefly on my background. I was raised in a parsonage. My dad was a minister. I had 10 siblings, and we grew up with. I was a middle child, so we had a lot of times together that we actually had good times. We also had challenges. For example, we lived in a very small town, and it was always a well, and there was always a challenge with pure water, even as a child. But as we grew and developed, I came to a place when I was 16 years of age where I just had a very strong impression that there would be something in my life that would be great, that would affect a large number of individuals. And I didn't know what that meant as a 16-year-old, but it never went away. And it was just one of those things right at the top of my mind to say, what is this? And then I would also, through the years, a number of things that we did related to ministry, and also, for example, I pastored a church uh, for 7 years, another one for 2 years. And then we had a number of businesses, and then was on a board of directors of a ministry, a media ministry, for 33 years. But all through the times of when I was growing up and looking at these different things, there was something in me that said, "What is this one thing that's going to change people's lives that I'm going to be a part of and help create?" And that came to pass. But that's part of my background, and it's something that's really made a change in my life to make it where I could come to this place in my life.
So I don't want to presume anything, but I presume where you got the idea from sharing the need of pure water for life, it came from your background, which you know I just want to kind of ask next of the mission story. You know, you mentioned you had four when we were talking before. You had four main things you would like to share. What is the first one?
Well, here's what brought us to the place of having the communication and having the desire to actually do what we're doing today with safer, cleaner water. I was in a missionary service in a church, and a missionary from Central America was in the presenting how they go into these foreign countries, and they said the number one reason why a lot of children die is because of bad water. So what they would do is they would have a filtration system. They would go in and show the the village how to be able to have pure water. And now their children were living and not the challenges with that. And then they would share with them the spiritual side of things as well. I was listening well, but there was something in my mind. I listened, but I also my mind goes at the same time. And I said, we're living in a nation of 300 plus million people, and if the electricity was off 3 to 5 to 7 days, there was no water coming out of your faucets and no electricity to be able to get any, what would happen? And my simple, straightforward conclusion was there'd be a lot of people that would not survive. So we have 300 plus million people and nobody's actually addressing this. That was my mindset. And so what would what would we do and what could we do about it? So as I began to process that, I began to research. Okay, there's certain things you need in an emergency, and most of the filters don't seem to have that in place. So I would begin to research and go, this filter does this filter does that, etc. And back and forth as we would talk uh, and look at what to do to create this a system that would work in an emergency. It was almost confusing to say, why would I want to share all the differences and the different things and different ones instead of tell somebody what they need. So I compare it to Alan. I compare it to a printer. Why do they sell you a printer? So you have to buy ink from them the rest of your life. And I thought,
Right.
well, why do most of people sell a water filtration system? Their purpose is where they can sell you a water filter, a new water filter, for the rest of your life. And I realized that wouldn't work well in a time of challenge. So, but somebody said, "Why don't you do a comparison chart?" And I began to work on a comparison chart, back and forth. And all at once, I just stopped and I said, "Why would I want to confuse Alan? Why don't I just tell Alan what mine has that's different from all the others and why mine works for what we're talking about?" So that's where we came to where we are now. And bottom line, there's three things about it that we will talk about in a moment. But let's go ahead and look also at the first thing. One of the things that we need, by the way, as you know, we know it and we're conscious of it. But one thing we need is we need individually pure water. Uh, Not thinking about everything else, but you can't do anything to help anybody else unless you help yourself first. That's why they tell you to put your mask on an airplane because you're not going to be able to do anything to help someone else if you don't take care of yourself as well. So,
Right.
with that said, we wanted to have pure water for your needs. Uh, there's three things that happen that we have to have. Number one, we have to have air. 3 minutes without air, you have a challenge. Another thing we need
Right.
is pure water. 3 days without pure water, you have a real challenge. The other thing you need is food. Within in 30 days, you have a challenge, but you're not going to get to the food if you don't have the water to take care of you, and also the water you're going to need for the food that you're going to consume as well. So with that, we began to say, okay, how can we make this as one of the things that for sure can happen? And one thing that we found is some people said, well, I would ask people in my research and R&D, I would just ask them, like, for example, Alan, what would you do if the electricity was off and you had no water and nothing was running out of your faucet? And one of the first things they would say is, well, I'd just go to the supermarket and I'd try to be the first one there and get all the water I could. And I thought, well, that's not a good answer, but that's what quite a few said. So I a few weeks later, as we were researching that, I drove into the city 20 minutes from where I live, where the supermarket is, and the stoplights were not working. The electric was off in the town. I had an appointment in the town. I wanted to go to the supermarket before I went to my appointment. I pulled in the parking lot and the lights were off, but there was one other thing that was on the door that changed everything as far as the thought process of what people were saying. The sign said closed due to power outage. So how many
Wow.
people would get anything? Nothing would
Correct.
happen if that's the case. So that's what happened with that. And if you go without electric for a few days, what would you do? And then the other thing, to have something where you could not only take care of your needs, like for water, drinking water, but washing, cooking, cleaning, hygiene, emergencies, all of those things as well. But without the electricity and without what we need with that regard, it's not going to work. So what we have is like insurance. It's not insurance, but it gives you the ability to have the assurance that you are going to have pure water for the rest of your life.
Okay. Awesome. Well, and when it comes to the way those who have the greatest needs, the nonprofit entity, can you share a little bit about the how to save and help the ecosystem?
Well,
Really?
Mark, before you answer that, I'd like to go on ahead and just share the video real quick that really shows how well this works. So I'm going to show this video real
Exactly.
quick. It's a 4-minute video, but I think it really shows, first off, the simplicity of it, and second off, exactly what Mark just said. You don't need electricity. All you need is the system itself. So I'm going to share this real quick, and then we can get back to the interview. But I think this video is very important.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
Day to gather some water from our local water source. Now I'm going to go out there and gather some of that water, and then we're going to filter it with this system, and we're going to show you how clean we can make this water. All right, so we're going to put it in this glass. And as you can probably see already, that this water is already crystal clear. It'll just take a few seconds here, and that'll give us enough to do an actual taste test. All right, you saw that water. That's what we got out of it after we filtered it. Looks crystal clear, but how does it taste? It tastes pretty good.
Wow. Well, that was actions speak louder than words. That was an amazing demonstration, Mark. Um, so you know, this is something that every family needs, every nonprofit needs, every organization needs. What an amazing demonstration! Can you can you share a little bit more about the process? Because I know you work with a lot of nonprofits and organizations. How do you benefit? How does a nonprofit benefit, or how do you work with nonprofits with this incredible invention?
Okay. The- As I mentioned, the first thing we need is to take care of ourselves. The second thing we need is to be able to help others as well. And that's where this comes in. Once you're able to have yourself and what you need with water, then you have a heart and desire, of course, to help others. And you want it for your family, you want it for your children, for those that you love and care about. But there's others also that have a need, just as you mentioned, with those that are in homeless shelters and things like that. So what we have and what's different about this. So let's just address those three things that are different from this than anything else on the market that makes this special and makes it really make the others not work, understanding why the others don't work. Number one, the filter that we have works and has a lifetime guarantee from the manufacturer that's been in business for 40 plus years. There's over 1 million of these around the world, and most of them in foreign countries because they have no electricity, and that's the only way they could have water. And number one, again, a lifetime guarantee on the filter. Number two, you never have to buy another filter with this one because the filter is designed to backwash it with the pure water that's created. So someone said, well, how do you know when that should happen? Well, it's not the water starts getting dirty that's coming through the filter because the water always is pure that comes through the filter. It's a gravity flow. So when it slows down a little bit at that point in time, you just reverse the filter and backwash it with some of the pure water it's created, and it goes over and over every single day for the rest of your life with the lifetime guarantee. The third thing that's different about this, most water filtration systems that can be used without electricity and do not create a very large amount of water. So you need to help those others and want to help those others. So what this does, it will filter up to 150 gallons per day. Everybody needs at least a half gallon of water to have enough water to survive well. So in this instance, you can help as many as 300 people have pure water in any emergency, or even if there's not an emergency, every single day, as long as you want it, because it has a lifetime guarantee on the filter. Again, filter with a lifetime guarantee, a filter that never has to be replaced because of the backwash, and number three, you can help up to 300 people per day. That puts things in a whole different mode and process of what it can do for us. And we do want to address some more about those that we help in homeless shelters and such. But I want to take a moment and pause to think of it something else that's related to every one of us. What about our ecosystem? What about the things that we have that we take for granted, or what about the things that have plastics and all of the things related to that? And the plastic bottles, etc. All of that is something that is negative that doesn't have to be there because, first of all, back to the filter, it takes out everything that would make you sick. It takes, and plus, like viruses, bacteria, and 100% of microplastics as well. So now you know you're having pure water. And then if you don't want to buy bottled water, you don't have to. You can actually literally take this, and this actually keeps over 2,920 plastic bottles out of the ecosystem just with two people utilizing this system to drink water. out of this instead of plastic bottles. You don't have to do that. Some just use it for emergency. Others want to use it for many other things, and it is totally available and able to do that. And then you mentioned about the idea and the thought process of how to help those in greater need. Let's take a moment there and talk about that. In Safer Cleaner Water, we have everything I just described to you. We also have a nonprofit entity, and that nonprofit entity is designed to actually help those that have the greatest need. Number one, you can actually say, I would like to actually purchase more than one to help those that I know, etc. And that's great. You can do that. But there's also in our nonprofit, we have a way for you to say, I want to help those that are in homeless shelters and such. So what we, as our nonprofit, what we do is we raise funds in our nonprofit for one primary purpose is to donate one of these filtration systems to those that are over the homeless shelters. Those in those homeless shelters and recovery centers are the ones that are going to have the greatest challenge when it comes to no water flow and the need for that. So what we do is we raise funds and we donate one of those to any charity across the nation. Someone can designate who they would like for it to go to, or they can say it's up to you where you want to send it. And we can serve all the 48 contiguous states, and the filter that we would donate is shipped to their door, shipping included, and they never have to worry about having pure water for those they serve for the rest of their ministry and for the rest of their life. And the other thing with that, also, Alan, I've suggested to some, why don't you actually, even though you don't have to wait for an emergency, why don't you use it every day and train or teach some of you those you serve how to do this purification of the water and make enough for everybody in the shelter to be able to have pure water every day, and they learn the need for it, the desire for it, and are able to help the cause of those that are serving them.
Wow, what an amazing story, a journey. Um, before I know it, we're going to come to a close here. I'm not sure if my incredible engineer and brainchild behind the community pay it forward, the massive connectors corner, Mr. Zach Clayton, has any final thoughts before we wrap up here. Mr. Zach, I know you've been listening and supporting in this, and any final questions and thoughts for the incredible Dr. Miller?
Yeah, I just wanted to bring up the fact that Mark and I are working together in the community Pay It Forward family. He is a wonderful, wonderful both mission partners, so you can donate to them to help them get the fresh, clean water to organizations everywhere. And he's also a giving partner. And Mark has given us the ability to become to offer a very, very special deal. And you can get two of these units, one for yourself and one for someone you love, or for an organization. As Mark was just saying, we've got organizations that would love this unit if you need help to place it. But you can get two of the units, and you can get it for a very special $200 rather than the $250 that it usually costs. So connect with us, connect with Mark,
Wow.
have a great conversation, and look, this is perfect for homeless shelters, animal shelters. I mean, you got to remember, we all love our pets too, and having fresh, clean water for them, I think that's pretty important. So, but Dr. Mark, Alan, wonderful show. I'm going to let you guys finish it out.
Thank you, Zach, and always community pay it forward. And thank you, Dr. Miller, for taking your time for spending your time with Master Connectors Corner and Community Pay It Forward in the show. But more importantly, thank you for doing what you're doing for around the world. Save cleaner water for not only organizations but individuals. The passion is in your voices, in your stories, in your journey. I appreciate you. I want to leave it as always with the final thoughts of yourself. Any other final pearls of wisdom that you want to share with about your mission?
Yes, just briefly, one thing that I don't like to say, to have to say it, but one thing I like to share is four words. I never want you to ever have to say, I wish I had. take action, do something, make it to where you can have. They refer to me as doctor because I refer myself as to myself as Dr. H2O. When it comes to water, I know what you need, and I'm happy to help you any way I can. I look forward to serving you, and thank you, Alan. Thank you, Zach, for the time together.
Thank you, and we'll see you next time on the Master Connectors Corner. Make sure you get a hold of Dr. Miller and get a hold of your safer, cleaner water. Appreciate you, Dr. Miller.
Thank you.
Say goodbye to just clicking and picking. The future of giving begins now with the new Come Together movement. Download our free community Pay It Forward app. It's your gateway to shopping with purpose and supporting the causes that you care about. You tell us who you'd like to support by selecting your mission. Whether it's helping veterans, feeding families, or supporting local schools, your purchases help fund real change. Shop like you normally do. No extra steps, no added costs. Just make your everyday spending count by choosing one of our partner businesses. Every purchase you make turns into real support. A percentage goes directly to your selected cause. It's automatic, it's effortless, and it's powerful. You're not just a customer, you're a partner in making a difference. Our app makes it easy for you to track your impact and share it with all of your friends. So why just shop when you can shop with a purpose? Download, select, shop, and support because your choices matter. When you shop with the Community Pay It Forward partners, no one needs to go it alone when we all come together.